Homeschooling legitimately ruined me, but not in the way that you might think. I was homeschooled from K through 12. I didn't step foot into a public school until I was required to take the SAT test in order to get to college. No, I did not do school in my pajamas. Yes, I have been known to give myself a homeschool high five. I have noticed a number of things that have popped up, some issues or struggles or challenges with my career primarily that I attribute to being homeschooled. With homeschooling, you have complete flexibility. You have a due date, you meet the due date. It doesn't matter how you do it, when you do it, or what time of day you do it. And so entering the workforce where there's just this rigidity, it's very difficult. For the first 18 years of my life, of my formative years of my life, right? Like the moments in time when you are learning who you are, how you function, and really developing the foundation of who you are, I was programmed to be in this flexible environment. I had freedom. I had freedom of time. Something that I've come to realize in the last couple years is that time is far more valuable to me than money. Don't get me wrong, money is important, but for me, like, how am I spending my time in order to get that money, right? Like, that's the ticket, okay? Money is important, but I would much rather be making the money I want, doing and spending my time the way that I want. For the first 18 years of my life, I had this complete freedom. If my mom and I woke up one day and she looked at me and said, "Hey, do you want to go to the mall and go shopping today?" Absolutely, let's do it, Mom. If I wanted to, I could take a half day. I could take my work where I needed to take it, wherever I needed to take it. It didn't matter how long it took me to do an assignment, whether it took me a really long time to do it or a short amount of time to do it. If I finished early one day, I finished early. I left the office. I didn't have to sit there and look busy. My time was mine. My time was 100% mine. And like I said, not only was my time my own, but I learned how to manage it. I was self-taught and self-graded by the time I was 15. So how did homeschooling actually ruin me? Because you might be listening to this and think like, man, all of that sounds like super amazing. With all the jobs I have ever held, it really doesn't matter how much I love what I'm doing. It really doesn't matter how much I love the actual tasks I'm doing, how much I love my coworkers, how much I love the environment. It doesn't matter. I feel like I am literally sitting in a cage. That is what it feels like. The get up, gotta be there by a certain time, gotta have my lunch hour at a certain time, and gotta leave at a certain time, and having these boundaries, like the benefits boundaries. And I just feel like I'm sitting in this cage, like I'm in jail. Now, I'm also very naturally entrepreneurial, and I have this boundless imagination and vision, and I'm sort of spacey. Those aspects of me, though, I'm naturally that way, but those aspects of me, they were just fed and intensified by the fact that I was homeschooled. Again, it doesn't matter how much I like what I'm doing. I have a job right now, and I like what I do at my job, but I still go to work and I think, waste of time, waste of precious time. I could be doing a million other things. As a homeschooled individual, when I was being homeschooled, every moment of my time was devoted to improving myself, growing myself, developing and adding value to my life and to my character as an individual in order to achieve what you want to achieve, right? Jobs are not like that. Most jobs. Some jobs are incredible, right? And that's not to say that I didn't do stuff for other people. I'm not saying that being homeschooled develops these incredibly selfish individuals. I think homeschooling develops individuals that see the value of who they are and see themselves as capable of something far greater. Being homeschooled sort of develops this bone and this ability to be self-owned, self-managed, and self-motivated. And I was raised and programmed in a lifestyle that was full of freedom, creativity, thinking outside of the box, choice, freedom. And that's not what employment stands for, not most of the time. So you might be thinking to yourself, I wouldn't really necessarily call this ruined. My point in this video is not to say oh, I was homeschooled and I was self-taught, blah, 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 toot my own horn. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to get at here is that we are all raised very differently. We are wired differently. We operate and function differently. And we have differing experiences and personalities. The typical job and employment situation it doesn't work for everybody. Just as starting a YouTube channel, starting a business, being a stay-at-home spouse or parent, it's not going to work for everybody. It doesn't fit everybody's personality and how everybody is programmed. We're programmed differently and to do different things with our lives. The world is not going to tell you that, though. Social media is not going to tell you that. School isn't going to tell you that. Friends and family might not even tell you that. For most of us, this is what we are told. This is what we hear, right? Go to school, get your degree, get your job with your bougie benefits, and live in your high-rise apartment. You might work 80 hours a week. It doesn't matter. You live in the high-rise apartment and you have your bougie benefits. That is what we hear. Whether or not that's what we want, that's not asked. That is not even a part of the conversation about whether or not that's what we want. And number two, whether or not that's what would actually work for us. Whether or not we can actually function and are capable of operating in that space and in that idea. We don't hear people telling us to do what we're passionate about, to do what we love, to do what fills us with purpose. We don't hear people telling us to follow the life path, not just the career path, but the life path that fills us with passion and purpose and that is the most fulfilling to us, but that also suits us, our personalities, and how we perceive the world. We don't hear people telling us to pursue a life that looks like that. Well, this is me telling you right now, you need to go and you need to pursue a life that fills you with passion. You need to do what you are most passionate about, what you love, what fulfills you and makes you so satisfied and so just on fire. You need to pursue and follow the lifestyle that suits you and how you operate as an individual. Not your mom's life path, not your dad's life path, not your siblings' life path, not your friends, yours, what suits you. You will struggle to find that satisfaction, the fulfillment, and the contentment that you are desiring and seeking and searching for in your career or in your life in general when you are pursuing the career and the life that doesn't suit you and that it's completely different than who you are. Like, it doesn't match. Looking back at me, making decisions about my career, 18-year-old me, oh, wise one. It was insane for me to believe that I could function in an 8-to-5 job. I had never, in my life, operated within those guidelines. I had always operated within the idea that I planned my week, I functioned within my week, and I made the adjustments where I needed to within my week. It was never well, this is what time I start, this is what time I finish, this is time, blah, 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 right? Like, that was never how it was. It was literally, this is what I need to get done this week. Okay. For some of you, what you hear all the time is start a business, go out on your own, whatever it is. You might be hearing that. But in the back of your mind, you think, I can't think of a worse reality than starting a business, right? We all have these things that we're being pelted with, these ideas and these lifestyles that we are being pressured to pursue and to succeed at, to thrive at, as a matter of fact. Whatever it is, I encourage you to look at your past experiences and how you are naturally wired and inclined and pursue the life that you look at and you think, man, that is 100% me. And so whatever it is for you, you need to figure that out, identify that path, I'm going to say, not just a career, but that path, and determine what that is for you and what you need to do to actually live out that life and not just fall into the habit and routine of following what people are telling you to do. What is 100% you? It doesn't matter what I am, and it doesn't matter what the people around you are. What are you? Now, like me, you might run into some trial and error, but don't settle for something that really just doesn't fit just because you started it or because people are telling you that it would be a good fit. You need to look at who you are and how you naturally operate, and you need to pursue the life within that spectrum, okay? Do not pursue the life that is within somebody else's spectrum, because it's not gonna click. Somebody else's spectrum, leave their spectrum alone. You need to do your own spectrum. Gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, love this video, and I hope you got some tips and ideas for how you need to be moving forward and pursuing your life and your career here. If you did enjoy this video, of course, I hope you will subscribe, but I do also encourage you to check this video out right here. In this video, I am going to talk all about fear, what fear actually stems from, and how you can overcome that fear and start living the life that you most desire and love. I hope to see you over there, and until then, so long.